Hello friends, in this lecture we are going to study the internal structure of Earth. What is very important to understand geomorphology. In the unit of geomorphology of physical geography segment, this topic is very important. This topic is very important, right? So try to understand properly. The name of topic is internal structure of Earth. Question arises, why what is need to study the internal structure of Earth? Why we should study the internal structure of Earth? Actually, by knowing the internal structure of Earth, by knowing the internal structure of Earth, we can identify the internal actions, what is happening and being experienced externally, right? If we know about the earthquake, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, landslides, these are actually the cause of generally internal condition of the earth. So if we know the internal condition, we can easily imagine the what happenings of geological phenomena as well as formation of various landforms. That's why it is very important to study. There are basically two sources to study the internal structure of Earth, right? There are two sources to study the internal structure of Earth. One is artificial sources. One is the what? Artificial sources. And the second is natural sources. It is known to everyone, artificial sources are those which are created by the human beings, and natural sources are those which are cause of the natural effect, right? Cause of the natural effect. Within the artificial sources, we can consider the scientific theories, expeditions, digging and drilling, mining, etc. These are the actually efforts of human beings to know internal structure of Earth. Scientific theory says that from surface toward the center, from surface toward the center, temperature, pressure, and density increases of the Earth's internal material. Temperature, pressure, and density increase of Earth's internal material, right? Earth's internal material experiences increasing the temperature, pressure, and density with respect to increasing the depth. So we can draw here a graph. Temperature, pressure, and density increases from surface towards center. Temperature, pressure, and density increases from surface towards center. And how it increases actually, I will explain in deeply in much detail during the lectures, right? So first of all, here I'm just providing the introduction of internal structure of Earth, right? So try to know the temperature, pressure, and density increases from surface towards center inside of Earth. Secondly, expeditions. One of the expeditions, there has been done actually many of the scientific expeditions up to now, and among them the coal expedition of Arctic Ocean is much important because there has been done drilling up to 14 kilometer from the surface of ocean, from surface of ocean up in bottom, in the in the oceanic crust there has been created 14-kilometer depth. And in laboratory there has been analyzed that temperature, pressure, and density of the earth's internal material going to increase. So at the coal point at the coal point At the coal point in Arctic Ocean, there has been created 14 kilometer depth under drilling process. And whatever the material we found there in the oceanic crust of the Arctic Ocean, those all experiences comparatively rise in temperature, pressure, and density towards center of the Earth. So the scientific expedition also going to explain that temperature, pressure, and density increases with respect to increasing the depth, right? The next, digging and drilling. Simply, if we start to dig a plain land. A plain land, we find initially the soft soil, and then the density of the soil and the layer of the soil going to become harder. Is in such circumstances, we can conclude drilling and digging also helps in knowing the internal condition of the earth. Internal condition of the earth. The next point is mining. Mining is probably one of the most important factor going to explain the internal condition of earth, because there has been done mining since the ancient to now, and we can realize the presence of the minerals inside of earth. With respect to increasing the depths, minerals become more heavier and denser. If we consider an example of the coal, if we consider an example of coal, there are basically four types of coals. One is anthracite. Second, bituminous. Third, lignite. And fourth, as peat. These are the four main varieties of the coals. And these coals are available with increasing the depth. If we talk about the if we talk about anthracite, it is lying at the highest depth. It is located at highest depth. Anthracite is located as highest depth. Then bituminous. Next as lignite, and finally peat. If we talk about the density of these different coals, density of the coal is highest of the anthracite. If we talk about the density of anthracite is highest, then about bituminous, then lignite, and finally peat. In such circumstances, we can consider that we can say if depth is going to increase from peat towards lignite, bituminous, and anthracite, and the density is also going to increase in such circumstances, we can say through mining of coal, density of the material increases from surface towards center. Right? The second evidence here is associated with the natural sources, right? Natural sources are those which are provided by the God itself, right? Provided by God. And those are as volcanic eruption, earthquake, and space research or space dust, right? These components actually helps in understanding the internal structure of Earth. These elements helps in understanding the internal structure of Earth. The first one, volcanic eruption. How volcanic eruption going to assist the to understand internal structure of Earth? How the volcanic eruption is going to assist the internal structure of Earth? So we know as what is volcanic eruption? What is volcanic eruption? Upwelling of magma, upwelling of magma from Earth's interior. Upwelling of magma from Earth's interior is called as volcanic eruption. There are basically two types of volcanic eruptions. One is the central eruption, what you can see in this diagram. This is the central kind of eruption, central eruption, and the second as a fissure eruption, right? Second as the fissure eruption. In case of fissure eruption, there takes place movement of the plates away to each other. Movement of the plates away to each other, and magma is deposited sidewise. Magma is deposited along the margins. Magma is deposited along the margins. In such circumstances, we can see there is taking place actually upwelling of magma, and temperature of the magma. If we talk about the temperature of magma, temperature of magma is much more than surroundings temperature. Much more than surroundings temperature. In such circumstances, we can say temperature is higher inside the earth. Temperature is high inside the earth. From surface towards center, temperature is going to increase. As we can see, temperature inside of earth is higher. That's why there is taking place eruption of the hot molten material. There is taking place releasing of the hot molten material from the earth's internal. The second point, the first related to the temperature, second as the pressure. Second as the pressure. Second as the pressure. Because of the because of intense pressure inside, because of intense pressure inside volcanic eruption occurs. Because of intense pressure inside of earth, volcanic eruption takes place, right? Volcanic eruption takes place. So we have proved up to now temperature increases, pressure increases too, and the next point, density. If we talk about the density, when the hot molten material hot molten material, when the hot molten material is cooled and becomes solidified, when the hot molten material or the magma, when magma is solidified, its density is much more than the surroundings, than the surrounding rocks. Density is much more than the surrounding rocks. In such circumstances, we can say Earth's internal material is denser too. So we have concluded temperature, pressure, and density all increases. Temperature, pressure, and density all increases from surface towards center. It has been proved even by the what? Volcanic eruption mechanism. Volcanic eruption mechanism, right? The next point, we talk about the average density of the earth. If we talk about the average density of the earth and densities of the different layers, average density of earth is 5.5 gram per centimeter cube, right? And if we talk about the density of the continental crust, the density of continental crust is 2.7 to 3 gram per centimeter cube, and oceanic crust is comparatively denser. Its density is around 3.0 to 3.3 gram per centimeter cube. And the next one as the mantle, having the density as 3.3 to 5.7, and the outer core is in liquid stage. Is in what liquid stage and having density from 9.9 to 12.2 gram per centimeter cube. 12 gram per centimeter cube. And the next one is inner core is in solid stage and having density 12.6 to 13.0 gram per centimeter cube. In such circumstances, we can say that density is going to increase from surface. Density is going to increase from surface towards center as these layers are towards the center. The first layer, this is called as crust. The second as the what? Mantle, and the third is the core. So here there is taking place with respect to increasing the depth, there is presence of the crust, mantle, and core, and the density of these layers going to increase continuously. Density of these layers going to increase continuously. So we can conclude the density from surface towards center increases to this is the what scientific explanation. Another natural evidence is the earthquake. Another natural evidence is the earthquake. What is earthquake? Sudden disturbance of earth crust. Sudden disturbance of earth crust under either under internal or external forces considered as the earthquake. Sudden disturbance of earth crust. What is earth crust? This is the earth. The outermost layer is called as crust. Outermost layer is called as crust. So here disturbance of the crust suddenly under influence of internal or external forces termed as the earthquake. During earthquake, there originates few waves called as seismic waves. During the earthquake, suppose when magma collides to this portion, when magma collides here, it applies jerk to the crust, and here it starts shaking, and PSL waves generate. Those are called as seismic waves. PSL seismic waves generate. Suppose if we apply hammer, if we apply hammer to wall also starts vibrating. So when magma is going to collide with the crust, it starts vibrating and originates their PSL waves, PSL seismic waves, right? Through the mechanism or through the concept of PSL seismic waves, we can understand and analyze the internal condition of the first of all, I would like to tell you the action of P waves. P waves are the seismic waves can travel. P waves are the seismic waves can travel in all mediums, but the velocity of the P waves decreases from solid towards liquid and gases. Means its highest density is what? Its highest density lying in the solid material. In the solid material. Now look at this particular diagram. You will see that this is the core. This is the core, right? And the density of core suddenly increases, right? Density you have seen in the earlier slides, density of the core suddenly is going to increase, right? Here the density is 9.9 to 12.2, and before this in mental the density is 5.7. It means the density is going to increase suddenly in the core, in core, due to which, because of the increasing density, there will take place increasing the velocity of the P waves, velocity of P waves. So when P waves start interacting, P wave starts interacting to the core, its velocity increases. Its velocity increases because of the increasing velocity, it is going to move toward the center. And in detail, I will discuss during the lectures, right? During the lecture. In such circumstances, when P waves are interacting, when the P waves are interacting to the core, the waves are inclining toward the center of Earth, toward the center of Earth. In such circumstances, found found a shadow or absence of the P waves between 103 degree of angle to 142 degree of angle, right? 103 to 142 degree of angle along both the sides of this particular focus of earthquake. Along both the sides of the focus of earthquake, we find what? Shadow of the P waves between 103 degree to 142 degree, right? It shows that there is higher the density or more density of the core inside of earth compared to the other portions. Means seismic waves explains about the changing pattern of the density, changing pattern of the what? Density. The next is the S waves, right? Next is S waves. If we talk about the feature of the S waves are those can travel in solid medium but disappears in liquid medium. Can travel in solid medium but disappears in liquid medium. This is the focus of earthquake. Focus of earthquake. What is the focus of earthquake? Focus of earthquake is a point where PSL waves are produced. Where PSL waves are produced. Focus is a point where PSL waves are produced. Right? PSL waves are produced at the focus. And S waves starts moving in multi directions in every directions, but when it starts interacting with the outer core, when it starts interacting with the outer core, these S waves are absorbed. Why absorbed? Because the outer core is in what? Liquid state. Outer core is in what? Liquid state. So the S waves become unable to cross this particular layer. In such circumstances, there again develop shadow between 103 in the right to 103 left. Between 103 degree to 103 degree, either sides of the focus, there is recorded the shadow zone of S waves. Here, it describes that there is presence of the molten material to inside of Earth. So, S waves going to explain the varying nature of the material, either solid or liquid inside of Earth, and in the same way, P waves too. In the same way, P waves too, what I had discussed earlier. So these are the actually sources These are the sources, natural and artificial sources to understand about the internal structure of Earth. And to understand it in detail, you will have to attend the lecture, right? During the class. If we talk about the layers of the Earth, the outermost layer, this is called as the crust, second as the mantle, this one as the mantle, then outer core, finally inner core. Finally, what? Inner core. So Earth can be divided basically into what? Four layers. Here we can see easily the crust is again divided into upper crust and lower crust. Upper crust and lower crust and extends up to 60 kilometer almost. Extends up to almost 60 kilometer. Secondly, there starts mantle 50 to 60 kilometer. Depth of the crust is around 50 to 60 kilometer. Second is the mental extending up to 2900 kilometer. And it is again divided at 700 kilometer depth. At 700 kilometer depth and recorded as upper and lower mental. Upper mental and the next is the lower mental. Between 2900 up to 6371 kilometer, 2900 to 6371 kilometer, there is extension of the core, and core is further divided into two parts as outer core and inner core. Outer core is what? Iron liquid, and the inner core solid iron. Solid iron. It is divided at the depth of 5150 kilometers. 5150 kilometers. So you can see here easily the what? Different layers of the earth. Different layers of the earth inside. Now we see here the composition and structure of the earth. Composition and structure of the earth. Earth is made up of core, mantle, and crust. Are divisions based on compositions. If we talk about the crust makes up less than 1%, of the Earth's by mass. In terms of mass, the Earth crust consists of only 1% material, consisting of oceanic crust and the continental crust is often more and more often more falsic in rock. Here we can again imagine the layers of the earth. This is the what? Inner core. This is as outer core. This is the mantle, and this as the crust. Visualization is very important in terms of understanding geography. In terms of understanding geography, visualization is very important. The mantle. The next is the mantle. Mantle is hot and represents about 68% of the Earth's mass. It represents about 68% of the Earth's mass. Finally, the core is mostly iron metal. The core makes up about 31% of the Earth. Means crust 1%, mantle 68%, and core 31%. Total becomes 100%, right? Total becomes 100%. Lithosphere and the asthenosphere are divisions based on mechanical properties. Lithosphere is the rocky layer of the earth, while the asthenosphere is the molten form of the earth, right? Molten form of the earth. This is also the layers of the earth. What I have discussed already. The first is the lithosphere. Lithosphere consisting of crust plus the upper mantle. Crust and upper part of the upper mantle includes the lithosphere. Second is the asthenosphere. The lower part of upper mantle. Lower part of upper mantle is called as asthenosphere. On the asthenosphere, there take place movement of the plates. Movement of the plates, right? The lithosphere. Lithosphere is composed of both the crust and portion of the upper mantle that behaves as a brittle rigid solid. The asthenosphere is partially molten upper mantle and upper mantle material that behaves as a plastically and can flow, having the capability of flow. Asthenosphere having the capability of flow, having capability to flow, right? And if we talk about the lithosphere, it is solid material. It is the what? Completely solid material. Now, core. At the planet's center lies a dense metallic core. Scientists know that the core is mental. The core is what metal for a few reasons. The density of the Earth's surface layers is much less than the overall density of the planet. Overall density of the planet, as calculated from the planet's rotation. If the surface layers are less dense than the average, then the interior must be denser than the average, right? Then the interior must be denser than the average. Calculations indicate that the core is about 85% iron metal with nickel metal, making up much of the remaining 15%. Also, metallic meteorites are thought to be representative of the core. Metallic meteorites are representative of the core, right? If Earth's core were not metal, the planet would have not have a magnetic field, right? If there would not be the presence of metal inside the core or in the core, at that time there would not be the what presence of magnetic field. Metals such as iron are magnetic, but rock which makes up the mantle and crust is not, right? Scientists know that the outer core is liquid and the inner core is solid because S waves stop at the inner core. S waves stops at the inner core, right? The next point. The strong magnetic field is caused by convection in the liquid outer core. Convection currents in the outer core are due to heat from even hotter inner core. The temperature of the inner core is around 6,000 degrees Celsius. 6,000 degrees Celsius. The heat that keeps the outer core from the solidifying is produced by the what? Breakdown of radioactive elements in the inner core. Radioactive elements in the inner core means in the inner core, because of the breaking of, because of what? Breaking of radioactive minerals, there is being produced huge amount of heat energy. The next point is discontinuities. What are the discontinuities and how they create? Discontinuities are the imaginary layers inside earth which develops because of variation, drastic variation in temperature or pressure or density or all, right? Or all. There are five discontinuities up to now have been recognized. Five discontinuities up to now have been recognized here. One is the Moho discontinuity. Moho discontinuity is the first. It separates. Moho discontinuity is the first. It separates crust with mantle. Moho discontinuity separates crust with the mantle. Second is the what? Gutenberg. It separates mantle with core. And the next is what? Coronary discontinuity. This is the second. Third is the coronary discontinuity. It separates outer crust with the upper crust. Upper crust with the what? Lower crust. Coronary discontinuity separates what? Outer upper crust with what? Lower crust. And the next is the repeated discontinuity. Repeated discontinuity. Repeated discontinuity separates upper mental with lower mental, right? Upper mental with what? Lower mental. Repeated discontinuity separates. This is the fourth one. Upper mental with what? Lower mental. And the last is the what? Last is Lehman discontinuity. Lehman discontinuity, the fifth discontinuity, it separates outer core with the inner core. So they, hence, up to now we have become able to complete this chapter. And one question is dedicated to all the students. Human beings interact mainly with external environment of earth for their almost needs and requirements. Therefore, why to study the internal structure of earth? Meaning of the question is related to our demands, means the human beings demand of the cloth, food and shelter is fulfilled by the outer environment. Then why to study the internal structure of earth, right? This question as well as every segment of the internal structure of earth I will discuss during the class. All the best to all of you. Have a nice time. Goodbye.